One of the big questions that have been left unanswered in so many people's minds is the question of where are the best locations to invest in Port Harcourt and by extension River State as regards real estate if you want to maximize your investment in 2026. So in this video, we'll be looking at the top 6 emerging locations that anybody who wants to make the most out of real estate investment in the city of Port Harcourt in 2026 must invest their money this year. Right? So my name is Maximus, and in my YouTube channel here, we discuss everything real estate investments the right way. And I encourage you to sit tight and watch this video to the end, because at the end, I'm going to be giving out a free gift that will appeal to you. Once again, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and comment what you learned at the end of the video. This helps YouTube to recommend videos like this to people like yourself who are on this platform looking for answers and solutions to real estate investments and investment strategies back home here in Nigeria. So, talking about locations that are good, that are great for investing in Port Harcourt. One of the things I would like you to have at the back of your mind as you watch this video is the fact that River State Port Harcourt, or Port Harcourt River State as the case may be, is of course becoming a strategic investment location for real estate investors in the Nigeria coming into 2026. And the reasons are not far-fetched. The obvious one is the fact that it is an oil base for the nation. It is the oil center. In fact, it's the treasure base of the nation. This is where the oil, majority of the oil that actually feeds the whole nation comes from. Then secondly, it is becoming, reflectively important for businesses. Commerce is picking up in the state. A lot of accessibility is coming into the state, and a lot of interest in the form of commerce is also coming into the state. Then thirdly, the population is growing so fast in the city, and by extension the state. So these are some of the factors you must have at the back of your mind that is making River State or Port Harcourt, as the case may be, a choice investment location for many real estate investors. And if you're watching this video, I encourage you to look into buying at least a plot of land in River State or Port Harcourt, as the case may be, in 2026. Remember, when it comes to investing in real estate, you must always move with the investor mindset, not the buyer's mindset. I'll talk a little bit about this in my next video. So, but for context purposes, a buyer is just someone who is just looking to buy, to own. An investor is somebody who is willing to put their money for maximum profit. So you must consistently think like an investor. And if that is how you're thinking, then you shouldn't be boxed in a location when it comes to investment. All you need is the adequate knowledge about a location, an investment advisor like ourselves, and the right property to put your money into. Then you are good and you are in business already. So straight to the juice of this video. What are the 6 must-have locations for people who are coming into the city of Port Harcourt to put down their money for real estate investment? Number 1 on the list is Igwuruta, or Igwuruta/Igwuruta. I mean, these are actually 2 communities or 2 cities lying side by side. And in fact, there's a school of thought that Igwuruta is inside Igwuruta. Either ways, I'm not from here, but I'm just telling you, how that location is closely knit together. So Igwuruta has emerged to be one of the most important investment destinations as it regards investing in real estate in Port Harcourt and River State in 2026. And the reasons are just very glaring. Of course, the most popular of them is the Salvation Ministries headquarters. So religion plays a very big role in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. And where big cathedrals like that are moving to, obviously, there will be a lot of human interest in that location. For example, Salvation Ministries alone have more than 1,000 pastors under their fold. And personally, Pastor Ibiome himself have a lot of, assistant pastors, and those pastors are going to be moving down to the headquarters, and they're going to live in that location. And definitely, some members of the church will rather want to go to the parish or to the cathedral that Pastor Ibiome himself is preaching in. So that alone will also make many of his members to come buy properties in that location, and of course, they're already buying to live and to reside in Igwuruta. So the Salvation Ministry headquarters remains the primary catalyst, the primary trigger of development in that axis. And also not forgetting that Igwuruta by themselves houses some of the most important government infrastructure in the state. For example, the Amesiamaka Stadium is located in Igwuruta, which is also by default an extension of Igwuruta. There is a whole lot of oil servicing firms in this same axis. And the good thing is that there's great accessible roads in this location, and more are still coming in, right? Then on the west, right, on the west side of Igwuruta is where the TAF City, the 20,000 housing capacity TAF City in collaboration with the state government is also located. So Igwuruta is sharing boundary with Aluu to house that project. So Igwuruta remains a great investment location to put your money as it concerns, investing in Port Harcourt in 2026. And good thing is that we here, we have a project there called the Sapphire Gardens, which is almost sold out, going at just a mega price of 5 million. 5 million as at now is, for me, the cheapest land you can get in Port Harcourt. A time is coming when 5 million will no longer be a feasible price for lands in Port Harcourt. I'm talking about in Port Harcourt. In the next 2 to 3 years, for you to see a piece of property for 5 years might be by connection. So our Sapphire Gardens poses to be a great option for anybody coming to invest in Igwuruta or Igwuruta in 2026. Number 2 on the list is Eneka. Eneka is by far one of the most, improved locations in the past 4 years here in Port Harcourt. Eneka used to be one of those suburbs that lacked a lot of interest. It was just there. There were no road infrastructure inside it. There were no street belt. Not until the former governor came and put in a lot of third roads in those locations. And all of a sudden, a lot of interest came into that location. And because that access road has come in, people already are looking for where to go and do businesses in, to go and build shops, to go and build plazas in, to go and build hotels in. A lot of interest came into that location, right? So Eneka has emerged to be a very important investment location. And as I'm speaking to you, some of the most important gated estates in Port Harcourt are located in that axis. They're talking about the Shell Cooperative Estates, that's the Pier Gardens, and several other estates in that location. Amazing, amazing location. And looking at the other, by the eastern side of Eneka, you will see the Ring Road project cutting through that axis that actually connects Eneka to Etche, right? So that Ring Road already is a major catalyst for movement, for people trooping into that location. And of course, one of the most important elements when it comes to a place developing is population influx. Anywhere people are moving to means that there's something there. And because of that, Eneka is experiencing massive explosion as it regards real estate investment. So I encourage anybody watching this video really to come in there and buy as much as possible. And plus around there going from as low as 7 million to as high as 20-something million, depending on the location in Eneka you're buying from. And the good thing is that we can help you get plots over there in Eneka. Our estate just got sold out, but I think we have 1 or 2 left in that estate. Our Gold Gate residentials in Eneka, we have 1 or 2 there going for just 13 million. And if that interests you, you can reach out to me using my WhatsApp link in the description of this video, and I'll walk you through as how to go about that. Then number 3 on the list is the Trans-Woji. The Trans-Woji Alesa Corridor is actually emerged last year when the then last 2 years when the then Governor Wike began building a very important link road from Woji towards Alesa towards Eleme. When that road began, all of a sudden a lot of interest entered into Trans-Woji. So Trans-Woji is the extension of the original Woji town. So Woji has been maxed out. Woji is a popular, it's not really a luxury area. It's a mid-luxury area here in Port Harcourt. So it's super affordable for majority of the families in Port Harcourt. So a lot of people moved in there at some point last 10 years or so and built and built and built. So that place maxed out very fast in a record time. So because of that, people have been looking for avenues to extend in that location, but because it is bordered by some swamps and some rivers there were no opportunity for people to extend. But immediately the then governor came and opened that road and connected the what I call it, the forest there or the farmlands there to the major Woji town. A lot of interest coming there now. Trans-Woji is a thing. People are moving into that community called Trans-Woji, Alesa. So that's another beautiful location. If you understand the real estate distribution in Port Harcourt and the real estate development pattern in Port Harcourt, you understand that people naturally love Moji for some emotional and for some sentimental reasons. Me, I don't know why. And a lot of people live there and they love it. So if you're looking to build to sell, right, you're looking to buy properties there, to build to sell, to build to rent, Moji is a very amazing location to look up to. People will buy from you, people will live in your properties. So look at that place in 2026, now that it's still very much affordable. Number 4 on the list is Omagwa. Omagwa is a very amazing location that is experiencing some massive explosion when it comes to property valuation. Who could even believe that in 2026 that Omagwa, a plot of land in Omagwa can go as high as 8 million, 7 million, 10 million? If you told somebody that last 3 years, they would laugh at you. They may even scorn you on the face. You understand? But when we saw this coming in the last few years, we rushed to Omagwa and got our Onyx residences in that location. But we saw the pattern of population movement. We saw the pattern of development coming in. And we quickly rushed and positioned ourselves in that location. And we are proving right 2 years down the line. The way the Onyx residencies and every other land in that axis appreciated over the course of the last 2 years is mind-blowing. A plot in our Onyx residencies currently goes for 6 million. Guess what it was going for last 2 years? Less than 2 million. This happened within 2 years. So this goes to show you the rate at which properties in Omagwa and development in Omagwa is coming through with. So anybody who must invest in Port Harcourt in 2026 or Rivers in 2026 must look into Omagwa as a suburb, as a city, as a sub-city in the whole city plan to put their money into, because right there your money is gaining a lot of returns on investment. Remember when I started this video, I said that if you're coming to invest in real estate in Nigeria or in Rivers State this year, you must come in with the mindset of an investor, not the mindset of a buyer. A buyer is emotional about where their plots of land are located. An investor is logical, is strategic about where their properties is located. It's a two different kind of mindset, right? So you must come with the mindset of an investor, and that will afford you the freedom, the leverage to move into locations like this and put your money. Like I said, we have our Onyx residences in Omagwa. Omagwa is famed to house, a lot of oil servicing companies like Fitco is close to our Onyx residences, and a lot of them on that axis. And guess what? The access roads are being stabilized and are being tarred. So if you come in now to get your investment positioned in that location, you are positioning yourself for a near future of financial abundance and probably quick exit, because when it comes to real estate, it's not about how much you put in or when you put it. It's about how fast your money can appreciate and you can exit a location for a bigger location. Hope that's clear. So the next on the list, the number 5th location that you must invest your money in Port Harcourt and Rivers State in 2026 is the Aluu / the Airport Corridor. So the Aluu actually is famed for a particular incident that happened in Uniport some years back, and that actually put a dent on the image of that location. But thank goodness down the years, that image has fully been restored for the right reasons. And currently, Aluu is a choice destination for people living in Port Harcourt and Rivers State. So a lot of population are moving in there, and by extension, a lot of government interest is on that axis. And the biggest of them all is the Greater Taft City, 20,000 housing capacity in partnership with the Rivers State government, which started last 2 years. And that has literally sparked of a wildfire of investment and investors in the axis. So that actually extends into the famed New Airport Road Corridor, which is where a lot of estate companies, individual investors, corporate investors are coming in to pitch their investments, and of course looking up for the development that is almost there as I speak. So the Aluu / the Airport Corridor is a prime investment location for anybody who is coming to invest in Rivers State in 2026. Not also forgetting that it is bounded on the east by Igwuruta. So it's still sharing boundary, it's still part of the communities that gave land for the airport and for the stadium. And also noting that there is the police headquarters on that axis. So security-wise, it's catered for. Travel-wise, you're just living close to the airport, both the local and the international. So living and coming into the city is quite easy. You're not going to be scared of missing your flight. And of course, that new airport road axis is experiencing some massive investments and development as I speak. So the Aluu / the airport corridor is an amazing investment location for anybody who will want to buy properties in Port Harcourt in 2026. And of course, if you're looking to put your money in that location, you can always reach out to my team or myself by clicking on the WhatsApp chat link in the description of this video. Now on the 6th, which is not the last, but at least for this video, we're going to stop here, is the Isiokpo Elele axis. You understand? So the Isiokpo Elele corridor is actually the communities right after Omagwa and Igwuruta, right? So on that axis is where a lot of people are moving into, and currently a lot of investors are going there to position themselves for what is coming. So majority of the properties in that axis are land banking projects. I'm talking about properties in the range of 2.5, 3.5 upwards. So that location is experiencing a lot of investment. So one of the key triggers for that location is the Igwuruta University on the axis. So the Igwuruta University is in Isiokpo as I speak and is on session. The students there already living. So that particular investment or that particular infrastructure is giving a lot of facelift and appreciation to investment in that axis. So if you're looking for where to buy an hectare of land with as low as 25 million, 30 million a hectare, that's 10 plots, then that axis is perfect for you in Port Harcourt, River State in 2026. That is actually a leverage that you might not necessarily be able to come by if you're coming a little bit out of that location towards the airport corridor, towards Igwuruta. You can be able to get a hectare for that amount. It's quite far more cheaper there than all these areas, right? So that area is good for land banking project, beautiful for land banking project at this point. So now is the best time for you to come and grab your plot. And before I go in this video, I would like to give you 2 bonus locations that you must look out for in 2026 in Port Harcourt if you're going to make the most. Remember, I'm giving you emerging locations that will guarantee you high returns on your investment. I'm talking about in the range of 50 to 100% returns within the space of 12 months if you are bringing your money into Port Harcourt, River State. So the 2 extra bonus locations. Number 1 is Eleme. Eleme, of course, is a popular location here, is where the Port Harcourt refinery is located. And that axis literally used to be relatively bushy. You get the only credible landmark there used to be the Port Harcourt refinery. But as I'm speaking to you right now, the former governor have built all the internal access roads in that location. And road and access is one of the catalysts for real estate development in emerging locations. So because of that possibility that the access road has given to that location, a lot of people are moving in there. I'm telling you for a fact. People who are living in Aba that want to live closer to Port Harcourt are coming there. People who are in Obibo, which is almost maxed out, are also moving into that locations. So if you come in there and position yourself now, then you are setting your investment up for massive returns within the space of the next 12 months or less or more. So Eleme is a bonus location, so keep your eye on that axis. Bring your money down to that axis. And if you're looking to also put your money, you can also reach out to me and my team. We can help you navigate that location. Then finally is Etche. Etche is actually another location. Etche is a local government. So inside Etche, there are some locations that are quite closer to Ikwerre local government. Ikwerre local government, when you look at the population distribution of the city and how the city of Port Harcourt is expanding and developing, the city started from Faoga, that's Port Harcourt local government, last few decades, and it expanded into Obiakpo. So Faoga got maxed out. It expanded into Obiakpo. Obiakpo got maxed out. Now it expanded further into Igwuruta LGA. Igwuruta LGA is now gradually maxing out. So after Igwuruta local government, there is 2 local governments beside Igwuruta that are going to be impacted. We're talking about Emoha, we're talking about Etche. And good is saying it is moving towards Etche, right? So Etche is another great location you must begin to look out for. You know, locations like Abara Etche, like Ozuzu Etche, like Odagwa, like Igbo Etche. These locations are experiencing the ripple effect of the expansion that is happening in Igwuruta LGA and Obiakpo local government area. So Eleme and Etche is amazing locations you should begin to also look out for if you are going to put your money in Rivers State in 2026. And of course, we are here at Realty position ourselves. Majority of the locations we called, we have properties in these locations that are strategically located, carefully curated, safe, and ready to give you returns for every 1 kobo you put down on those locations. I invite you to come and take a look at what we have here, or send a representative if you're not in Nigeria, or probably book a virtual inspection across our estate, and we'll walk you through the possibilities there are in those locations, and of course help you begin your journey seamlessly and easily, right? So thank you for watching this video up on this moment. I believe you've gotten value, and I believe that this value is going to help you with your investment moves in Port Harcourt in 2026. Thank you for watching this long, and also to remind you that please give us a follow button so that YouTube can be able to recommend videos like this to people like yourself who are also looking for strategies to invest in Nigeria back home. Do comment what you've learned in this video, and if there is any other thing you would like me to talk about as regards real estate investment back home in Nigeria, please do not hesitate to put them in the comment section. Like this video, and of course share it as many people as possible to help spread the good news of real estate investment back home. Not forgetting that this video was sponsored by the Realty Limited, your choice real estate development company and investment company here in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. See you on the next one.